Christo. No artist so fully exploits the aesthetic and conceptual possibilities of packaging as this controversial sculptor, who has packaged all kinds of things from tin cans to entire buildings. Using ordinary fabric and cord, he has wrapped tables and chairs, bicycles, motorcycles, automobiles, trees. In the process, he has transformed familiar everyday objects into ambiguous and sometimes mysterious presences. In 1969, at the age of 34, Christo traveled to Australia to realize his most extensive outdoor wrapping to date, a package of colossal proportions, 1.5 miles long. Christo had decided to wrap part of a continental coastline. He had to investigate what type of material would be best suited for the project. Long before he went to Australia, he considered several types of wrappings, including canvas, jute, and aluminum sheeting. Eventually, he chose a loosely woven synthetic fabric, which is lightweight, extremely strong, and relatively impervious to salt spray and water. The fabric was woven in Australia on special looms that were capable of producing the material in widths of 12 feet. After the looming, 3 to 6 bolts of the fabric were then sewn together to produce immense panels of the material, panels that measured up to 72 feet wide and 600 feet long. Christo and his crew of co-workers started out by wrapping a rock-filled gully located near the middle of the 1.5-mile-long site. Christo himself supervised the laying of the fabric and did most of the tying, securing the rope around large rocks.
We made the crest, the first crest.
During the late 1960s, Christo made a number of drawings and collages of a wrapped coast. But he wanted to see the project fully realized because he knew it would be a very different visual and spatial experience. As the site becomes progressively blanketed in the opaque white fabric, it does begin to assume the guise of a surreal landscape. The wrapping gives everything a uniform surface color. It also emphasizes the existing topographic contours of the site, which oddly become more prominent than before.
Johnny, this end must be overlapping. Huh? This is the end of the material. Must be...
Since Christo's persistence is matched by his resourcefulness, He alone was not surprised when he finally succeeded in realizing his vision of a wrapped coast. While a million or so square feet of propylene and the 35 miles of rope are gone, the wrapped coast remains in the memory, one of the most extraordinary artworks of the 20th century.